Police officers don't need to knock anymore before entering a house if they have a search warrant. That decision coming today from the U.S. Supreme Court. NBC Justice correspondent Pete Williams is outside the nation's top court with the details for us. Hi there, Pete.
Well, Natalie, what you said is what civil libertarians are saying will be the result of today's ruling. Technically, the Supreme Court is still saying that the police have to knock and announce. But the question is, what's the punishment if they don't? Now, past court decisions have said that the Fourth Amendment's protection of your home and your papers requires the police, when they come to your house with a search warrant, first to knock on the door and say it's the police, and give a reasonable amount of time for the homeowner to come to the door and open up. And this protects the privacy of the homeowner so that they can get some clothes on, they can compose themselves before the police come inside. Now, in the case that the Supreme Court acted on today, everybody agrees, both sides agree, that the Detroit police didn't follow that rule. They came with a search warrant, but when they came to a man's front door looking for evidence that he had illegal drugs and guns, they found that the door was unlocked, so they just walked in. They said, "We're the police," and then they just walked in. They waited a few seconds, they found a gun in the chair, they found crack cocaine in his pockets, and he said that evidence should be thrown out. But today, the Supreme Court said by a 5-4 ruling, throwing evidence out in cases like this is too harsh a punishment against the police, that it lets the guilty go free. It could put dangerous people back on the streets. Now, there was a time 50 years ago when the Supreme Court said improperly seized evidence like this had to be excluded. But times are different now, the Supreme Court said. Now, unlike then, people can sue the police when they act improperly. And they also said the police are much more professional today. They're trained not to break the rules, and it could affect an officer's promotion, for example, if they violate the rules. But the dissenters, along with civil libertarians, are saying this ruling basically gives the police free rein. There's no longer any reason for them to follow the rules, they say. And for that reason, this is proving to be a very unpopular decision with civil libertarians.
And it sounds, Pete, like this decision is signaling a conservative shift on the court.
Well, the theory is this case was argued twice. The first time it was argued, Sandra Day O'Connor was on the court, then she left. Today's decision was 5-4, with Justice Alito, the newest member of the court, clearly casting the deciding vote. What we don't know is how would Sandra Day O'Connor have voted had she been on this court. There is some reason to believe, based on the comments she made in oral argument, that she would not have gone as far as the court did today. So you can probably say that Justice Alito's presence in this case shifted the court to the right. How much further, it's impossible to say.